Hi, I'm Kerry. I'm the host of Best of Us Investors. We're a group of people who have come together through Best of Us Investors and through our Discord, who gather information and share it with each other so that we can make better investment decisions. As a result of that, something I learned through the tribe that I felt was important, and so I researched it and I sold out of my NIO. What I realized is I did not own any NIO stock. I owned something totally different out of the Cayman Islands. I want to explain that to you, and I want to explain that I notified my tribe of this several days ago so that they could, like me, if they believed, like I, that I did not have NIO stock, I had some fake NIO stock that they could get out. Now I want to share that with you because I want to show you that we run things a little different over here. We work hard to make good investment decisions, and I believe my best investment decision was to get out of NIO. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why I did and why I think maybe you need to do some research and consider getting out of any number of China stocks. I'll talk to you in a second.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Okay, you might remember several months ago that Ant was a 34 million IPO in $34 billion IPO in China, and China shut it down. And we didn't really understand why. And what we came to recognize is that it was that China does not want foreigners to own and have equity in their companies, particularly in what they call their critical companies, such anything that is tech, anything that is banking, anything that is electric vehicle. They don't want you owning it. So what the company does is they do a workaround. And what they do is they go open a office, not really an office, it's more like a post office box in the Cayman Islands, and they set up a structure. We're going to call it a fake structure, a fake NIO, that says we have access to the profits and the losses of NIO, that company that lives back in China. And that's their workaround. China doesn't like this. That's what Ant was doing, and they shut them down. That's what Dai was doing, and they shut that down. And that's why you saw Dai, their ride-hailing company, drop 20% one day and then another 10%, because the world became aware of this. There's a tremendous article by its Investors Education that explains in great detail a VIE. I'm going to put a link to that in the description below, and I think you owe it to yourself to read it. So in essence, what you end up with is, first of all, there's always been a question about the integrity of China's accounting. Now, they've improved that, and in some cases like BDY, they are extremely open book about it. I cannot find that BDY is a variable interest entity, VEI, but I do find that NIO is, and those are the only two China stocks that I own. So I immediately sold out of NIO. As I said, I made about a 40% profit. And you can, if you will Google, is NIO a variable interest equity structure, you will find the headline. Like many Chinese companies, with listings outside of China. NIO is a variable interest equity, or VIE, a structure created in 1990 for the workaround for China companies that are not allowed to have direct foreign ownership. So what you own is nothing. And if China decides they want to shut down NIO, fake NIO, out of the Cayman Islands, you have no recourse. You have no recourse whatsoever. Now, one of the reasons I think I might maybe stay in BYD is that Warren Buffett owns a large percentage of it and has for a number of years, and he hasn't backed away from that. So what I want you to know is what you have, and that you need to reconsider your ownership. At the same time, I believe that in fact China will grow and NIO will grow, and they will prosper. But there are much better investment opportunities here in the United States. So by all means, go into the description and find this link. And then I'd also like you to hear a piece by Steve Weiss. He's a regular on CNBC, and he explains that he used to own Alibaba as a momentum stock, but he will never own another Chinese company as a result of what he learned about VIEs. So watch this.
You owned, a name like Alibaba earlier in the year. I don't think you own any Chinese stocks today. Would you ever own them again, is the question.
I would not own them again for a very simple reason, is that when you own a Chinese stock that's listed in the U.S., that's an ADR, you basically own nothing. And there's a good chance you have no avenue to collect if you get into a dispute. I've sued through my fund Chinese companies that have ripped off U.S. shareholders by taking companies private at far below what they're worth. And since they're Cayman-listed companies, you go there. But these companies are, I won't get technical here, variable interest equities, VIEs, and they were created to get around the Chinese laws that forbid foreign ownership in critical industries. But they're all critical industries. So it's technology, it's telecom, et cetera. So just the very fact they're created to get around the law is a warning signal. And what do these VIEs own? They don't own any assets. In the Cayman Islands, they don't even have an office or employees. All they do is have a right to the revenue stream or the loss stream of these companies.
Yeah.
All the assets remain. And the Chinese government's repeatedly said, we don't like these. And it was thought at some point that Biden was going to be easier on the Chinese companies. It turns out he's tougher.
That's what was shared with me through Best of Us Investors at our Discord. That piece of video I hadn't seen it. I then researched and found this article through Investors Education that I'm putting the link to. This just woke me up. I had in the past said I would never own a Chinese stocks. I saw NIO. I saw the quality of their vehicles. I believed that they were going to be the primary player in China, and I still believe that. And I still believe that BYD will be a primary player in China. What I have not yet done is fully convinced myself that BYD is not a VIE structure. If I find it is, I'm out. I'm out immediately. So that's my take on this. I think that it's important that you educate yourself and you stay attuned to this, because I know a lot of you own a number of these Chinese stocks, and I would ask you, just go to Google and ask, use the name of your Chinese company a VIE? Now, if you're okay with that it's a post office box in the Cayman Islands, which the Chinese government does not recognize as ownership in your Chinese company, if you're okay with that, go ahead. I just believe there are many better investment opportunities here in the United States in cybersecurity, in biotechnology, in healthcare, in robotics, and even electric vehicles. But again, recognize that an electric vehicle or an internal combustion engine vehicle is in the automobile business, and historically, they don't make money. Now, again, I recognize that Tesla is also in the data business, and that's where you do make money. But there are so many opportunities coming in those other sectors that I'm going to be a part of. Okay, that's my take, and that's why I no longer own NIO. I bailed. I shared this information with my tribe before, about a week ago, so that they could get out before the whole world wakes up to what they don't own. They own fake NIO. All right, talk to you tomorrow. Hope you come and join us. Go to bestofusinvestors.com. Give me your name and your email address, and I'll send you a link to the Discord. And there you can see what we're doing and see if it will help you become a better, make better investment decisions. Talk to you tomorrow.